Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life coming to you with the Daily Word for Men for January 11th, 2025. And I'll tell you, I am taping this on January 7th, and I came out in the morning. I like to do it early in the morning because there's not so much traffic and that noise. I know I keep saying I got to get a filter to get that noise out on the microphone. But I don't know how I do it on this. This doesn't even have a separate mic. This is it's a tablet. It's a Kindle HD 8 tablet, and I got a terabyte card in there. So I uh, I kind of switch all. I save all these tapings, and I have another card that I put them on through my computer, and then I erase it. And so I've got everything I've ever taped here. But this morning it was 31 out here. It was kind of cold, below freezing here in Florida. I guess it has something to do with that storm that's hitting up north, and the winds were high, so it felt like even lower than 31, and that's unusual for this area. But so it's warmed up a bit. It's probably about maybe 45 now. So I figured I would do this because I am going this weekend, going to a doo-wop show in well, quite a bit away. And Friday I have something with my pet, and Saturday I have a Bible study. So I try to get ahead a little bit. So the daily word for men for January 11th is empathetic. And here's the biblical quote: Look, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. And that is from Matthew 1, verse 23, New Revised Standard Version. Here's the commentary. As men, we have trouble naming our emotions. We may have four we easily identify: frustration, happiness, sadness, and anger. But there are a great deal more. Do you know that every willful action taken by humans has an emotion behind it? We cannot avoid being emotional beings simply because of the way our brain is structured. That is the beauty of how God created us and how we connect with Him and others. As relational beings, emotion is primary to our existence and function. The concept behind empathy is that a person is able to emotionally be in with another person and that they are what they are experiencing. The best way is just to be with someone without trying to fix, advise, or answer them. Jesus demonstrated empathy by coming to us. He left his Father's side and entered a sinful world. He was emotionally in our trouble and fully experienced our world. According to Hebrews, Jesus was able to sympathize with our weakness in every way, except that he did not succumb to iniquity. He knew the risks of entering what we experience and what it took to pull us out of it, and it cost him his life. There is reasonable caution about going too far in empathizing with someone's troubles, such as you becoming part of it yourself. However, like Christ, we can join someone in their pain by being with them, but not identifying with them. What can you can you do better to emphasize with those you love? Well, there is a great difference between empathy and sympathy. Uh, Sympathy, I looked up the definition, and I'll read it to you. Sympathy is sincere concern for someone who is experiencing something difficult or painful. And the definition of empathy is the ability to imagine how someone else feels. So it is very different from sympathy, and a lot of times there is false sympathy. Uh, you've seen that a lot in the New Testament. Uh, walking by someone that's fallen down and say, "Hey, have a good day." But it happens. I remember there was a very famous case. Uh, I think the lady was called Kitty Genovese, and it was in the '60s in New York, and people watched her get murdered and didn't do a thing. And so it says, how can you empathize with those you love? For me, I'm only saying for me, and I'm not disagreeing with the author, but I think the question should be with others, because we don't only empathize with those we love, we empathize with people that we don't even know. I can remember when they had some kind of mine disaster in northern England or Scotland, and a bunch of school kids got killed, and we heard about it in school. And I can remember thinking, what did they think when it was happening? I hope none of them suffered. And so it's not just people we love. We don't have to know them. What we have to do is see them not as other, but see them like ourselves, so that we can connect with them emotionally. It's very easy to see some people you don't like and say, well, they deserve it. Look at them. Look at them carrying on without knowing anything about them, but that you consider them other. So we use this, use empathy in nursing, not sympathy. Well, we are sympathetic to people that they're in the plight that they are, uh, but we try to connect emotionally with them. And I mean sincerely. I don't mean just saying all the right words. So that's my take on this today. You know, no longer look at someone as other. They are human beings. We are all children of God. We have that relationship. And that will permit us to become more empathetic. So God bless. Have a safe and holy day. And we will see you tomorrow. And hopefully, it may be a little bit warmer. But I'm not holding out too much hope. God bless.